James Reveller finished fastest in his qualifying group and fastest overall, so he has pole position for this first day final. James de Havilland headed his group, so starts on grid 2. Thanasi Barnecourt starts on grid 3. It's Julian Clist's best qualifying performance to start on grid 4. Luke Cousins and an excellent qualifying time by John Corrigan on row 3. Chris Scivier and Miguel Hall start on row 4. Oscar John Cook gets his qualifying together for once to make up row 5 with David Longman, and with the B final qualifiers, it's now 24 karts for A final 1. James Reveller brings them through, the Union flag at the ready, and we're racing, and look at the jump that James Reveller's got off the start. Will they be allowed to keep this one going? Thanasi Barnecourt pointing the way to James de Havilland. Well, it's been waved off. It's a steady and even pace to the line. That's the instruction. So we'll try this one again. James Reveller in kart number 9 in pole position. On the front row with him, kart 66 is James de Havilland. Thanasi Barnecourt in kart 80. Luke Cousins in kart 25 is the driver, competing with Reveller for the championship. James still got the whole shot into turn 1, and de Havilland's got on his bumper. Thanasi Barnecourt coming through in 3rd place. Look at that, Rihanna Percox looking for racing room between Freddie Gallagher and Jamie Armstrong. Cousins has gone past Miguel Hall and is down the inside of Clist into turn 3. It's elbows out behind, and John Corrigan's had a poor start. Oh, and there's more contact between Ward and Scivier. Miguel Hall went for the escape road, as did David Longman. Well, we'll just let them settle down here. Corrigan trying to come straight back at Miguel Hall. I think he's got it done. We're riding on board with Freddie Gallagher. Josh Pettit ahead of us. Harrison Darville coming out of one of the B finals. Back on board with Percox. Ooh, a bit of a squeeze there. Getting through. Aaron McClure takes a look at Greg Aaron ahead of us. Not sure if he got it done. Barnecourt's caught up with de Havilland. Down the inside into turn 3. Back on board with Miguel Hall. Trying to find a way past Chris Scivier and James Bell for a space in the top 10. Down to the hairpin. Kart 47 is Jamie Armstrong, but it's Scivier going down the inside of Julian Clist. Not too pleased with that move. And Corrigan's coming straight down the inside of Armstrong. Oh, Miguel Hall sideways in. Oh, contact between Gallagher and who knows, I think that was Greg Aaron. And there's more contact with Percox on the outside. That's a dodgy place to be. Let's see if we can reset this field. Thanasi Barnecourt in 2nd place behind James Reveller. Aaron McClure going round the outside of Percox and in the air by Pettit. He's got some kind of problem. I think he's out of this final with some kind of technical problem, quite possibly caused by contact. Running slowly. This is a 17-lap final. We've lost a lap due to that false start. James Reveller leading onto lap 4 by 1.5 seconds on Thanasi Barnecourt. James de Havilland is just off his bumper. Small gap then to Luke Cousins. Kart 30 is Oscar John Cook. Going well in this one. Gap then to Glenn Beard, Richard Ward, Chris Scivier, Julian Clist under pressure from Jamie Armstrong in 10th. John Corrigan holding off Miguel Hall for 12th, and Freddie Gallagher coming from a long way back. I think there's a bit of contact there, and I think he's done Hall a favour as Corrigan ran wide on the exit of turn 3. Down at the hairpin, Armstrong on the bumper of Julian Clist in kart 26. Back with Gallagher. Looking at Corrigan, who's now settled down and is back on the speed he showed to qualify so well. James Reveller is pulling clear at the front of the field from Thanasi Barnecourt. No one can live with his speed. De Havilland getting a run round Billy's blind. Not close enough to throw it down the inside. De Havilland getting on his bumper. Reveller's already in the S's and through. Bouncing the curbs as you've got to do at Clay Pigeon. Using all the curb and all of the road and a little bit more when necessary. So de Havilland happy to follow for now. Miguel Hall's caught up with Daniel Truman in the fight for 11th place. He's looking to the inside of the horseshoe, throws it down the inside. Truman just about gets the door closed. And we move on to lap 6. De Havilland takes a look over his shoulder, wondering where Luke Cousins is. He's got plenty of time and space to close on Thanasi Barnecourt into turn 3, who's keeping it neat and tidy. Percox and David Longman fighting out over 17th place. The field streaming through. Richard Ward coming through there, car number 1 in 7th place. Longman inside of Percox for the S's. That's allowing in Aaron McClure and Harrison Darville to join this dice. Percox straight back at him. Oh no, inside. A bit of understeer, under braking. More contact with McClure. Oh, McClure runs wide. A chance for Percox round the outside the last corner. This could be risky. Oh, they're running out wide. She's on the grass and in the tyres. And that's a heavy hit. Oscar John Cook to the inside of Luke Cousins. Can he get it done? I think he can. No, he can't. Side by side through the S's. Well, at least that was comparatively clean. All they're doing is helping Glenn Beard behind. Richard Ward in 7th. Chris Skivia 8th. Jamie Armstrong 9th. Kart 26, Julian Clist in 10th. And it's Dan Truman, Miguel Hall, John Corrigan 13th, Freddie Gallagher 14th. We're on board with Hall now, still trying to run down Daniel Truman. A yellow flag and a penalty board out at start-finish. I think that's kart number 10 on the other side of that number plate. You've seen Aaron McClure also in the tyres there. Looks as though he's been to have a conversation with Rihanna Percox to explain perhaps he was pushed by David Longman, kart number 10, who's got a penalty for his troubles. Miguel Hall down the inside of Daniel French. Look further forward, Julian Clist making progress. He's picked off Chris Skivia, and Oscar John Cook is once again trying to find a way past Luke Cousins. 3 wide down to the hairpin. John Corrigan on the inside. Round the outside, Dan French, and it's Freddie Gallagher losing out to Greg Aaron. Oh, there's more contact here. We've got a 5-way dice. As kart 82, James Bell joins in. He's got the inside. Oh, they're coming past Percox. Well, there was a yellow flag out there. They should not have been racing. That was extremely dangerous. Possibly even more dangerous than the incident that put Rihanna in the tyres. James Bell looking to the inside of French. Can't get it done. Corrigan manages to hold on to 13th place ahead of Greg Aaron, Freddie Gallagher, 37 Dan Truman. Up front, James Reveler's lead is 3.2 seconds ahead of Thanasi Barnicoat and James de Havilland. Another penalty board has gone out. Luke Cousins is 4th ahead of Oscar John Cook, Glenn Beard. Julian Clist is ahead of Miguel Hall, so Clist is in 9th place. But Miguel Hall wants to be by. Richard Ward under pressure from Jamie Armstrong, running round the outside for 7th place, and he's got it done. Oh, right on the bumper, and Ward's trying to come back at Armstrong. And Clist is just about held off Miguel Hall. The rest of the field streaming through. Harrison Darville under pressure from Robert Turner in the battle for 18th place there. The battle for 2nd continues. I can see more boards out at start-finish. I suspect that's a penalty board. Clist manages to hold off Miguel Hall. 82 has got a penalty now. That's James Bell. I suspect that's for racing under yellow flags. James de Havilland down the inside of Thanasi Barnicoat into turn 3. He's got it done. Thanasi doesn't find it too hard into the S's. He'll try and come straight back at him down at the hairpin, or see if James can tow him back to James Reveler. So de Havilland signalling to let's push on and go after James Reveler, who's coming up to lap Rihanna Percox, and he's still going quicker. We're on to lap 12 of 17. His lead is 4.1 seconds. He took 0.4 of a second out of James de Havilland on that last lap alone. He's got ahead of Percox and set another fastest lap to take pole position for now for the second final. Oscar John Cook continues to try and find a way past Luke Cousins, and Glenn Beard is closing in. And we know what Glenn's like. If it's on, it's definitely on. He'll be straight down the inside if he can. Cousins on the defensive, trying to hang on to 4th position and as many points as possible in the championship to keep it going. Oscar John Cook wants to be by. Now, Thanasi Barnicoat, he's had a couple of laps to take a look at James de Havilland as he decided he's got the beans to go by and take 2nd place. He's closing in. De Havilland turning in through turn 3. Oscar John Cook's got that run at last and he moves by. Oscar John Cook up to 4th place, but Glenn Beard is now on the bumper of Luke Cousins. It's getting tough for Cousins to keep this championship going. Cook on the defensive. Narrow, and here comes Glenn Beard. I said if it's on for Glenn. Straight through. So Luke Cousins down to 6th. Back on board with Freddie Gallagher. That's John Corrigan ahead of us. Corrigan running in 13th place. Well, James is giving Thanasi the think signal. They're not closing in on James Reveller. He took another 10th out of the pair. Oh, John Corrigan over the rumble strip. This should be an easy picking for Freddie Gallagher. He's lining him up down the inside. Come on, Freddie. Now, can you get it turned? I think there's some contact at the apex. And through goes Daniel French. David Longman behind. Back on board with Miguel Hall. Still trying to find a way past Julian Clist. They've caught up with Richard Ward. And that becomes the battle for 8th place. And we move further back to the battle for 13th. It rumbles on still with Daniel Truman at the head of it. Oscar John Cook now under pressure, and Glenn Beard has got to run up the inside through Billy's blind. He's going to have to tip in over the top. Gives himself some room and opens the door for Luke Cousins. That wasn't too clever from Glenn. Clist locks up and runs wide. Miguel Hall is through. Richard Ward now under pressure from Miguel Hall. Cousins on the defensive to try and hold off Glenn Beard, who got it a bit sideways, went in a bit deep. James Reveller leads on to lap 16, the penultimate lap. Richard Ward under a lot of pressure now from Miguel Hall. Julian Clist wants the position back though. And he's got it. Chops him off, cuts across his nose in the last corner, then opens the door for turn 1, and Hall stuck his nose in. It's side by side. This is a big favour for Richard Ward. Look at the gap that he's jumped back out to. The battle is on for 2nd place as well. Thanasi Barnicoat's seen enough. He wants to be back through and on the 2nd step of the podium. Freddie Gallagher's been deep into turn 3 so many times. Now was he pushed there by David Longman, who's already got 1 penalty. He might just have another. Down on the brakes into the hairpin. And there's your race leader on his final lap. James Reveller leads by 5.2 seconds. And it looks as though James de Havilland's got a couple of kart lengths on Thanasi Barnicoat. Oscar John Cook coming through in 4th place. Cousins in 5th. Glenn Beard in 6th. Jamie Armstrong. Richard Ward under pressure from Clifton Hall. Greg Aaron coming through in 11th. Clist takes a look down the inside from a long way back on Richard Ward, can't get it done. James Reveller is into the horseshoe for the last time. He's seen off 2 of the best young karters in the UK to take his 8th win of the season. James de Havilland and Thanasi Barnicoat add their names to a long, illustrious roll of honour of Club 100 Sprint Trophy winners, including an incredible 3rd place finish from me at Landau in heavyweights in 2006.
Are as follows. 3rd place then. This driver started on P3 and finishing 3rd. He's our guest driver for this weekend. Well done indeed. Driver number 80, Thanasi Barnicoat. And we move on to our runner-up then, and starting P2 to finish 2nd, driver number 66, James de Havilland. But to our race winner in final number 1, so many times this season, maximum points again, started pole, finished 1st, driver number 9, James Reveller. And a fastest lap as well going to James, 40.20 in that race. Well done. Round of applause, top 3 in your lights. Well done, guys. We're probably going to be seeing those 3 again.
The top 3 from final 1 are also the top 3 on lap times. So it's Reveller, de Havilland, Barnicoat at the front of the field. Jamie Armstrong starts on grid 4. Glenn Beard and Luke Cousins are typically on the 3rd row again. Miguel Hall and Julian Clist on row 4. Greg Aaron and Oscar John Cook make up the top 10. It's 25 karters, all trying to stop James Reveller extending his win streak to 5 in a row. Well, Barnicoat and de Havilland know a little bit more about James Reveller now. They know about his pace. It's to be feared. They're going to have to employ the dark arts of racecraft and stop him getting away. And Reveller's out front. He got the whole shot. But de Havilland's on his shoulder, looking to go by down the inside of turn 3. Can he get it done? He's down there and he's through. Whoa, look at the contact on behind, and Barnicoat's in there as well. Well, I thought this might happen. Barnicoat and de Havilland have been around, you know. And Glenn Beard's into 3rd place. So work to do for James Reveller. We know he's fast, but can he race? They're not the same thing. Reveller down the inside of Glenn Beard early, back in 3rd place. On board briefly with Miguel Hall. Oscar John Cook suggesting to Julian Cliss to work together, not to lose ground, but it's all kicking off behind. In fact, it's all kicking off everywhere. This is the lightweight A final. Rihanna Percox trying to get a run on Miguel Hall round Billy's Blind, looking to the inside. Can't get it done. Miguel Hall crossed up. Barnicott leads. De Havilland, Reveller, Cousins, Beard, Jamie Armstrong in 5th place. Hand in the air, there's more racing going on under yellow flags. That won't go down well with John Vigor from a safety point of view. Coming round to finish lap number 2, and it's Thanasi Barnicott leading James de Havilland by 0.3 of a second. James Reveller in 3rd place, 3/4 of a second off the lead. Meanwhile, further back, Miguel Hall moves by David Longman for 12th place. Glenn Beard closing in on Luke Cousins in the battle for 4th place. And look at this line, all fighting for position. Down around 10th, back to about 20th place. Robert Turner inside of Percox in the S's. Can he get it done? Yes, he can. Everybody looking over their shoulders, looking to take an advantage when it's on. Greg Aaron trying to apply pressure to Oscar John Cook and Daniel Truman in car 37. James Reveller going quickly. Look at that lap time, and he's closing in on Barnicott and de Havilland. This final could be a classic. Beard under pressure from Jamie Armstrong in the fight for 5th place. The leading trio through the S's, and Reveller's right on it now. You saw Cornby moved there, I think by Luke Cousins. I'm not sure if it had already been tipped over. I hope he doesn't pick up a penalty unnecessarily. Coming through to end the lap. There's a board out there. That looks like another penalty for somebody. I hope they get the right person. James Reveller using the toe is now on the bumper of James de Havilland through Billy's Blind, who's suggesting they work together to get back to Thanasi Barnicott. Oscar John Cook and Greg Aaron going at it hard over 8th place. Aaron moves ahead. And it's invited in Freddie Gallagher to join this group. Everybody is on their limit in this second final. Oscar John Cook looking to get that position back from Aaron as quick as he can. Our leaders come through to start another lap. And it's game on. De Havilland on the bumper of Thanasi Barnicott out of turn 1. On the long drag through Billy's Blind, and look at this, James de Havilland's mighty. Closing in and looking to the inside, can't get it done. Into the S's, Barnicott tips in, oh, he hit that cone. And then I think maybe it's de Havilland or perhaps even Reveller clipped it as well and tipped it over. Oh, Reveller the inside of the lap, what a good move. Late and hard crunching tackle there by James Reveller to dive inside of de Havilland at the hairpin. Barnicott obviously pulls out a couple of kart lengths. Now has de Havilland got an answer for James Reveller, and it's all going off behind as well. Don't think we're missing it. Dan Truman down the inside of Jamie Armstrong. So work to do once again for Armstrong. And Greg Aaron's right there as well. This is a 4, 5, 6 card dice. It's a revolving door. Oscar John Cook suggests they work together to get back in touch with Luke Cousins and Glenn Beard. Beard currently running in 4th place, having demoted Cousins a couple of laps earlier. On board with Freddie Gallagher, running in 10th now. Struggling to stay in touch with Greg Aaron, get in this battle. When it starts kicking off, he closes in. Back up front, Barnicott under pressure from Reveller. Oh, and look at the line through that turn 3, and he's inside at the chicane. Well, incredible run there through turn 3 to keep such a tight line with such pace. Thanasi Barnicott's got to go back to work to get that lead back. Back on board with Freddie Gallagher closing in on Dan Truman for 9th place. Further forward, Oscar John Cook being held off by Luke Cousins in the fight for 4th place with Glenn Beard. Contact between Gallagher and Truman. Now will that set up Truman Billy's blind, and here we go again up front. Reveller now trying to hold off Barnicoat, who's got to run down the inside. Reveller is pushed out wide, and de Havilland will go through into the S's. I'm almost sure of it. Yes, he's through. So Reveller's back in third place, and Barnicoat's out front. Down hard on the brakes. You can see how hard they're pushing. This is right on the limit. Great racing in the lightweight class, and Reveller's down the inside into Horseshoe. Tries to stop it on the apex to keep the spot through the combination that ends the lap. Barnicoat pulls out a couple of kart lengths onto lap 10 of 18. Oh, we've got another 9 laps of this. And here comes James de Havilland round the outside of Billy's blind. He's back in the swing of it. He used to do that all the time in easy kart. Luke Cousins holding off Oscar John Cook for the minor places. De Havilland, though, has got a right fight on here from James Reveller. Gallagher, he's got ahead of Truman. Percock's trying to find a way past Sam Nash. James Bell in a big dice in the midfield with Scivier, Darville and Bailey. And there's another board going out there. That looks like a black flag, a mechanical for Oscar John Cook, just after setting the fastest lap. So Barnicoat's pulled out a couple of kart lengths. It's 1.1 seconds to be precise. We're back on board with Gallagher. He's moved on to the bumper of Greg Aaron, and he's going through in the S's. Oh, that's a squeeze. Can't get it done. Reveller on the bumper of de Havilland down at the hairpin. Oh, Jamie Armstrong runs out wide. Heavy contact between Aaron and then Julian Clist into Truman. Yellow flags are being waved. The racing is going on further forward. James de Havilland's pulled out a couple of kart lengths on James Reveller. I think he's pointing at a yellow flag there. Yes, hands in the air as well. So an opportunity to reset this field. Barnicoat leads by 1 second ahead of James de Havilland and James Reveller. Gap then to Glenn Beard and Luke Cousins. Another 2 seconds gap back to Jamie Armstrong, Freddie Gallagher, Greg Aaron, Miguel Hall, James Bailey, David Longman, Julian Clist, Richard Ward, John Corrigan coming through in 13th place. Greg Aaron trying to find a way back past Freddie Gallagher, who's got the move done. Reveller sets another fastest lap as Rhianna Percox throws one down the inside of Robert Turner for 16th. Can't get it done though. I think Turner's hung on. Greg Aaron suggesting to Miguel Hall to give him a break. Trying to get back through on Freddie Gallagher, who's narrow into turn 3. That's just inviting in Hall behind. Whoa, a bit crossed up on the exit. That can be a lot of fun. Greg Aaron trying to push on. I think Gallagher's escaped and Hall now wants to be by. Looking to the inside, can't get it done. Aaron keeps the spot, stays in 8th place. Back up front, you saw Reveller setting a fastest lap there at the bottom of the screen. Well, he's in the slipstream of James de Havilland, and I think they're just about back in the slipstream of Thanasi Barnicoat. So we could be in for a barnstorming finish to this second final, which has had pretty much everything so far. Closing in. It's all coming back together at the front here. De Havilland's down to about a kart length on Barnicoat. James Reveller is on the bumper of James de Havilland. Who's going to get the best run out of turn 1? It's crucial for that long drag uphill, or what passes for 1, into Billy's blind, and then it starts to fall away again. And we're back on board with Freddie Gallagher, who's caught up with Jamie Armstrong. This is the battle for 6th place, down the inside from a long way back. Can he get it turned and keep the spot? He's done it. What a good move from Gallagher. And Miguel Hall continues to keep tapping, normally on the back of the bumper, sometimes on the side pod, on Greg Aaron. Oh, this is from a long way back. That was clumsy. He better wave him back through. There's a penalty coming if he doesn't. Lap 16, 3 laps from the finish. James de Havilland over the rumble strip on the exit of turn 1. He's right on the limit. And James Reveller's looking for a way by round the outside of turn 3. He's a bit optimistic. Will he try the undercut in the S's? Yes, he will, and he does it. So James Reveller back in second place. Barnicoat takes a look over his shoulder. It's now 3, 4, 5 kart lengths. And we're coming round to start the penultimate lap. Miguel Hall has dropped away from Greg Aaron. What a relief for Greg, I'm sure that is. But I don't think it'll last to the end of the race. I'm sure Hall will be back. Further back, Rhianna Percox in the battle for 16th place with Robert Turner, 74. Harrison Darville, 23. Chris Skivier, 82 is James Bell. Down the inside of Darville. James de Havilland round the outside of Billy's Blind, can't get it done. James Reveller gives him just a little bit of room. On turn 3, keeps the spot, keeps the contact to the absolute minimum. We're coming round to start the final lap. Thanasi Barnicoat leads, and that lead is 0.4 of a second, and Hall has caught up with Aaron once again. He's coming down the inside, Greg. Oh, that's a clumsy one as well. That's sticking the boot in. Shake of the head there. I'm supposing he's letting him back through. This is the tail of the field. They're yet to start their final lap. Oh, James Bell all crossed up. Gives it up cheaply to Harrison Darville, who moves through to 19th place. Glenn Beard is running in 4th place. He's managed to hold off Luke Cousins for most of this final. Can he keep it going to the finish? The leader, though, is down at the hairpin. Thanasi Barnicoat's got a couple of kart lengths on James Reveller. It's going to be a first win in Club 100 at his second attempt for the Easy Kart Junior champion, Thanasi Barnicoat. He's getting the hang of it, and the rustiness is beginning to wear off on James de Havilland with a second trophy of the day. It's for second place as James Reveller manages to pick up a penalty somewhere for a cone.
It was fantastic stuff to watch, I must say, but it ended up like this. Unfortunately, a one-place penalty going out to James for cone abuse, as we call it on the radios. And so he's dropped down to finish in 3rd position, from pole position to finish 3rd. Driver number 9, James Reveller. But second place then going to the driver who started on P2. Part of obviously the mix that gave us some great entertainment. Well done indeed. Your runner-up, driver 66, James de Havilland. Like I say, he's a guest driver. He started on grid 3, and well done indeed, and gave us some great entertainment as well. Winner of a lightweight sprint A final 2, driver number 80, Thanasi Barnicoat. Thanasi's been doing Easy Kart Championship, and he's just won the junior class this year. He won it at the penultimate round up at Glannygore, so Thanasi's going to get to go to Italy to compete in the world finals in that junior class. So he's getting a bit of practice in with Club 100. Do you enjoy it, Thanasi? I don't know why I ask him questions, because I always get that. You know, oh, it's all right. Yeah, it's okay. Well done indeed. There you go, top 3. Well done.